Hey, what's up guys? I just want to do a quick little video showing you guys how to practice and weld stainless tubing. Since mostly all I do is like fabrication, not all, but most of my business comes from welding like tubing, round circle tubing. It's best to practice on what you're going to be doing the most. So I know a lot of people like do different things like aluminum plate, but they're welding like round steel tubing, and it doesn't really help them in being good at what they want to be good at. So in this video we're gonna do this. I just cut thin pieces of stainless. This is probably 1/4 inch tubing, 3 inch. I cut 2 of them and I'm gonna weld the seam down the middle. So first, this has already been cleaned and deburred and sanded. So before we do anything, just a quick, this is brake clean, but it's non-chlorinated. It's very important to use non-chlorinated ones, because the chlorinated ones, if you weld with them, they will, I don't want to say kill you, but they're very harmful to your body. They produce mustard gas when they're heated, basically, so you don't use that. You could also use this acetone right here, which I do both. Doesn't really, whatever's closest to me I use. Acetone's a little cleaner because it doesn't produce, this stuff leaves a little bit of a residue, but you know, they both work fine. Mineral spirits works fine. Whatever you got around. Soap and water if you don't have anything. So just clean this up all good. And then we're going to start by tacking this, and I'll show you guys. This is 065, so I'm welding around 45-50 amps on my machine, and then I'll just foot pedal it. But start out with pretty much no gap. This should be perfect. I'll show you what the gap should look like when you start. I don't know if you can see that. That's like a perfect gap right there. There's again right there. I don't know if you can see that. But that's how tight the gap should be if you want great results. So I'm just gonna quickly speed tack this on 4 corners. There's 1. 2. Burn myself. And now I'm gonna put on my glove because it's gonna get a little hot. Put on both gloves. I should have done this in the beginning, but oh well. Move this out of the way and just finish tacking up the rest. The last two, I should say. You don't really have to hold post flow on tacks, but I do just to keep them nice and silver for a little bit. And I'll show you guys how small. The smaller the tack you can do, the better the finished weld will come out. So if you can see, look how small that tack is. It's not even the diameter of the filler wire. It's super small, and pretty much all of them are like that. Now we're not going to back purge this. If you wanted to practice 100%, you know, if you're going to do it, you would back purge this, but this is just a little demonstration purpose, and I'm just not gonna back purge it. So let's get a new piece of wire. We're going to be using 035 308 stainless. I like to weld, the thinner the better for me. I don't know, I just like a low profile bead, a small weld. So always wipe down your filler rod. On aluminum, it's very important. I don't know if you hear, I'll show you. You don't think there's that much contaminants and dirt in it, but you'd be surprised. Just that little piece. Look how much content. I don't know. Can you see that? The little lines right there. That's all from the filler. But yeah, let's do a quick little bead. and I'll give you guys some pointers and tips and stuff along the way. Alright, we'll start at attack. Now it's very important on stainless to keep shielding gas on it, so use as much or as little gas as you want, and as little post flow as you want. Each of us have different preferences, but we'll do, we'll run a bead, and then I'll run a couple beads, and I'll show you guys what my results are, and I'll switch up a few settings too. Running a little cold, so I just turned up the amperage a little more. It's just strange because it's such a thin piece of metal. It shouldn't really, shouldn't really run cold, but that was a little cold. Now, if you notice there, my hand slipped, and I touched a little bit of the tungsten, but I'll just regrind it real fast. Yeah, this is such a thin piece that it's very easy to overheat. A little tip is after you grind it, take a little piece of Scotch-Brite and shine it up real good. And you can see, I'll show you how I run my tungstens. Is that going to be able to focus right there? There you go. And I do use a drill to sharpen them, just on a belt sander. They say you're supposed to use a dedicated one, but I mean, if you're doing x-ray welds, you should. I just use a regular old belt sander. Yeah, that wasn't the prettiest weld. Towards the end I touched it a little bit. I'll show you all. These are pretty much full penetration welds, because it's, I'm using a decent amount of heat and it's so small of material. On to the next one. Now, when you're starting a bead, usually what I do is load up the arc, stand there, get my puddle the same width that I ended, back up about 2 to 3 ripples, and then blast the pedal to get it pretty much sunken in, penetrated, and then I'll start dabbing and continue. I wish this was a bigger piece, but I don't want to really waste that much material on, on practice. So, the colors and everything would be better, but this is just, fun little practice. So there's no sense in wasting, couple inches of material. And just, you know, try to keep as steady of a hand as possible. I like to rest my hand on something, both hands actually, not just the torch hand. And just be comfortable with how you grip your torch and how you feed your filler wire. I mean, on stainless, you're only going about, I don't know, 15, 20 dabs, so it's not really advantageous to feed rod like this. Like on aluminum or long pieces, you would do that. This is, you could just dab, and by the time you're done your bead, you need to like reset anyway, so just, you know, take your time, don't get in no hurry. Focus on each puddle and each bead you're dabbing in. Yeah, this little piece already has like been overheated, so I'm starting to lose some of my colors, but you know, it still looks good. It's just like I said, this is just for practice, so it's fun regardless. And just keep at it, you know. It's very important on your tie-ins to, like the little tip I gave you, the 2, 3, 4 ripples and blast the pedal, get it penetrated, and then start dipping. That's just my way of doing it, but that works the best for me. You want to try to experiment with whatever you're doing, so. Pretty much about halfway done here, maybe a little more, and then I'll end this video and show you guys a couple of, you know, the welds and what a non back purge weld looks like. And post flow is very important when welding stainless. You don't want to discolor it or anything, so whatever you can do. If you want to use a bigger cup, more gas, more post flow, more pre-flow. This is the number 12 Fury cups, and it's pretty much, I never leave my torch unless I'm doing aluminum, but anything I'm doing stainless, not important parts, like, you know, or parts that don't require premium gas coverage, and I'll step up to a bigger cup, but this is my everyday pretty much cup. We probably have about 2 or 3 more welds, and then we're done. And this is a good thing to practice too. Like if you're charging people money, let's say you're doing an exhaust, you got to know how long and how much time and prep you take on each weld. This is 3 inch, right? And the circumference is 3 inch times pi, which is 3.14. 3 times 3 is 9, by 9.5 inches of weld, and how long it takes you to do each weld. That's something to keep in mind of. one more weld and we're done. And try not to breathe on your piece when the post flow is going, or talk, because it will disrupt the gas coverage and you will lose coverage. Alright, we're pretty much done here, so it's still a little hot. I'll try to pick it up for you guys and show you. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to. Let me switch gloves actually, because these are... Let me get a pair of pliers. It's even better. Quickly... As you can see, this has been discolored a lot, but in this focus. And it looks like pretty much one continuous weld. You don't look like you have a bunch of start and stops. Let's see if we can get the other side. Not wanting to focus, there we go. And on the inside, a bunch of sugaring and stuff. So yeah, it's just a quick little video. Hopefully you guys can learn something from it. It's fun for me. I do at least one of these a day, and I just, you know, I take this one and I cut another piece like this, and I'll just stack it up, and I'll write with, you know, a Sharpie or something when it's all cool, and I'll scratch something in there, the date, so I can see how I progress and, you know, what I need to work on. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from that. I'll try to post more of these sorts of videos. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.